Day. And here in the Element Well studios, Dave Hughes here, and I am joined by a longtime friend. We have known each other a long time. He either Wilmoth. Is that it?
I love you.
Is that close? Heather Wilmoth joining us here today. How are you?
I'm good. I haven't seen you in a while, though.
I know. We speak on the phone occasionally, but not as much as we used to because we're both busy, but haven't actually physically seen you.
I know. I program your show down there every day.
I know. And then don't listen. I know how this works.
No, we listen.
Oh, you're that bored. Okay.
No,
that'll
sometimes some of the things you talk about are very entertaining.
Yeah, that's a very nice way to put it. She's talking about the local show that I do every day on 93.5.
Right.
Down in Pike County. I occasionally get loud. I know that's hard to believe.
Occasionally?
Every day I get loud. I know that's hard to believe, but it does happen. And you are here today because, well, you have something very important that you work with, and we're going to be joined here in a minute by somebody else to talk about this.
Yes, Dr. Juebin Huang is going to join us. He runs the Huntington's Disease Center of Excellence, the Huntington's Disease Society of America. They don't give those titles of centers of excellence out just blindly. He's worked really hard and he's done a really great job. And what those centers of excellence, their purpose is to help our Huntington's community. Huntington's disease is a terminal neurodegenerative disease that's like having ALS, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's all at the same time. I know I'm kind of repeating myself for you, but for those that don't know, there's no treatment, there's no cure. They can treat the signs they can treat the symptoms. And it's a disease that hits really close to home because my husband Nathan suffers from this disease. And so when he was diagnosed in April of 2016, after we got over the initial shock, and you were there with me.
Yeah.
You were there with me.
Yeah.
Because we actually worked in the same office then. And a suggestion you made has just grown, and it's grown into this. So thank you.
It was a rough time.
Yeah.
Let's just put it mildly, because that is a huge shock to the system when something like that happens. And to me, it's beneficial in two ways to organize and to bring people together. Because number one, you would be amazed how many people are affected by this in Mississippi. You don't know it because you may not have heard about it, or you don't hear about it much, but it is a big thing. There's strength in numbers. That old expression has a lot of truth in it.
Yes, and you told me that in 2016 because, Nathan and I felt so alone. And at your suggestion, we created the Mississippi Huntington's Disease Support and Family Awareness Group on Facebook, and that has brought us together with so many people. And I had no clue how to even create a Facebook page other than my own personal one. So poor Dave got suckered into helping me there.
You can't be suckered into doing something willingly.
Well, I appreciate it.
It doesn't work that way.
I appreciate it. I don't know what I would do without you and Randy and Ben and Robert at Brookhaven. I mean, I pull them in quite a lot, just like I pull you into things too. But and I don't know what I would do without my SuperTalk family. The whole SuperTalk family has just been so phenomenal and just so supportive, and I'm so thankful.
Well, you mentioned the Huntington's Disease Center of Excellence that we have here. And I remember it wasn't that long ago, just a couple of years ago, when they got that designation. That was a big day.
That was a huge day. Huge day. And I'm proud to say that I got to write a letter recommending this and got to sign my name on it, and that just meant so much to me that Dr. Huang felt that I was good enough to do that, I guess. I don't know the right phrase I need to use there, but I mean, like I said, they don't just hand those things out. You have to work really, really hard. I mean, Dr. Huang has been one of Nathan's doctors. I mean, he's been the first doctor from the get-go. And then he suggested we do a thing called Enroll HD, which is a database for Huntington's disease. You want to get in clinical trials, you get in Enroll HD. And that's the way they study the disease to try to make leaps forward in treating and hopefully one day finding a treatment or a cure. And our other doctor is Victor Sung at UAB, because here was not a center of excellence at the time, did not do Enroll HD, so we had to go out of state for all of that.
Yeah, you were back and forth to Alabama, right?
A lot of times. I still am. I mean, we loved both of our doctors so much, we kept both of them. So, and they communicate. I mean, I think, I'll have to ask Dr. Huang, but I think they still communicate on a weekly basis. So, I just can't say enough about our physicians that, I mean, we got two of the best. And I'm not just saying that because he's coming in with me. I mean, I really genuinely, when anyone asks, what do I do? Where do I go? If there's someone that's newly diagnosed, I direct them to both.
You know, the thing that strikes me from a mostly outside perspective on this is that it takes a very special kind of doctor to even dive off into this. Mm-hmm. Not just everybody that gets a medical degree is going to go, I'm going to go into Huntington's research and treatment. Right. No, because this is a very complicated thing. And forget reaching the finish line. They're trying to figure out where the finish line is and if it exists.
Yeah.
Because we just don't know. So there's a lot of work and a lot of complicated parts that go into this.
Exactly. Plus, it takes a special team because, notice I said the word terminal. Knowing your patients, don't really have a chance. That takes a special person.
Yeah, very much so. And it's an almost insurmountable challenge when you just look at it, mm-hmm. but it takes a special person, and the doctors you have found get this. It takes a special person to look at that kind of thing and go, well, I don't care. We're still going to try to climb that mountain. Let's go.
And both of our doctors are so positive about the disease. I mean, they exude positivity about it. And we got really lucky, Dave. I mean, there's so many Huntington's patients out there that don't find the right doctors, or they're paired with people who don't know a thing about it. An example I've given before is Nathan couldn't go for one rare disease. He had to go for two.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Overachiever.
Yeah.
So he's got a rare blood clotting disorder. And we were at a different hospital dealing with that. And they wanted us to talk to their neurologist. And I went, wait a minute. We've got two already that specialize in Huntington's. We don't need a third. And they're like, well, no, we would feel better if you talked to him. Okay, well, fine, you can send him in, but, we're with two of the best, and they're both centers of excellence.
We're booked. Yeah.
They send the neurologist in, and he starts talking to us, and this is what happens with most Huntington's patients. We educated him on Huntington's.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally said, well, that's not what I read about before I got in here. I said, well, you're reading it. We're living it. I mean, those were my exact words. You're reading it. We're living it. Now, we kind of know what's going on in our life.
Dr. Huang has shown up. So in the next segment, we're going to have him in here with us. Look, he's waving at you right over there.
Okay, I can't see him.
Oh, well.
Sorry, Dr. Huang.
Would you please get her some glasses while you're at everything else? There he is. He leaned in here to say hi. But before we go to break, I did want to mention one of the impetuses for having you here is it's time for the Team Hope Walk.
Yes. Team Hope Walk, it's going to be not this Saturday, but next Saturday, May 18th, at the Flowwood Nature Park. Registration begins at 8, walk begins at 9, and we need a lot. We need donations for raffle items. We need, if you want to be a sponsor, we'd love to have you as a sponsor. We need walkers. We need volunteers. We need everything.
And just as an added bonus, I heard a rumor that actually Heather will be doing the walk in an inflatable dinosaur costume. So you might want to show up just to get pictures. Bring the kids. It'll be a great time for everybody. We'll talk more about it again in a minute.
Okay.
It's break time. When we come back, we're going to add to the conversation here with Dr. Huang. And what was it again? He had this woman. We will continue in just a moment here on SuperTalk Mississippi, middays in the Element Wealth studio today. And Heather, you now have backup, and we just discovered right before we came on the air, apparently Dr. Huang and I are now in-laws. I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. I think we're good with that.
Now, Doc, how you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, I know you're busy. You have a million balls in the air. But I want to talk to you for a second because there's something that I'm curious about that I want to know. Because we mentioned in the last segment before you got here that it takes a special, in my opinion, a special kind of doctor to decide to even tackle this problem of Huntington's disease. What led you to make that decision?
So that's a long story, and I'm glad to share that part. And I was trained and as a resident here in the University of Mississippi Medical Center as a neurology resident. And one of my residence rotation was to go somewhere else out of state to see what other people are doing, for training and for neurological conditions. I went to UAB, and then they have this big Huntington's clinic, and I got the opportunity to make friends with Dr. Victor Zhang. He's the director of Center of Excellence at UAB for Huntington's treatment and care and research. So when I came back, I said, we don't have a Huntington's clinic here in Mississippi. We need one, and we have a lot of patients and family that are suffering from the disease. That's where it began, and then a couple of years later, we become a partner site for UAB Huntington's Clinic, and then 3 years ago, we become an independent Huntington's Disease Society of America Center of Excellence for Huntington's Care. So our Huntington's family, they don't have to go out of state to seek care anymore. I think. And I'm, picking up these areas just because Huntington's disease, as other hereditary disorder, is devastating, deteriorating, and a lot of time, even when I was in training as a neurologist, we don't talk a lot about Huntington's disease because it's not a common disease. We are much more into Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, but, Huntington's disease, whoever have the disease, the family, it's very painful. It's very deliberating. I think someone needs to step into this area. That's where I'm now.
Well, and I think you're exactly right. And one conversation we were having during the break, and you are so perfectly suited to talk about this, Heather, because we were talking about how many families are affected in Mississippi by Huntington's. But then you've got to consider the definition of the word families, because, yes, there's one patient per family usually, but it affects a lot more people than that, doesn't it?
It affects the whole family. I mean, I'm Nathan's wife. Yes, he has the disease, but I'm the one that takes care of him. We have 2 kids. We have an 18-year-old and a 9-year-old. And, they're affected. He's got a sister that he's extremely close to. She's got 2 kids. They're extremely affected because it's a tight-knit, close family. And, some families, how do you define how big a family is? We might be a family of 4, but there are people out there that have 4 kids, and with Huntington's, each child of a Huntington's patient has a 50-50 chance of inheriting the disease. So, it affects the whole family.
In one way or another. And Doc, I've got a question for you, just came in, and this leads into something I was going to ask you. On the C-Spire text line from the 662, said, is Huntington's disease similar to Lewy body dementia? My dad was diagnosed with Lewy body dementia in 2007, but now I'm wondering if he might have had Huntington's.
That's a very good question. So I'm a neurologist and happen to be, seeing a lot of patients with Huntington's disease and also dementia, such as dementia with Lewy body. So there's difference. Huntington's disease is purely hereditary. There's no way you can get Huntington's disease if there's not a gene mutation running in the family. On the other hand, dementia with Lewy body, it's age-related. It's we call it neurodegeneration. It's the deterioration of the brain. There's a small portion of the disease may be hereditary, but the majority of them, they're not hereditary. So the difference between the two diseases is dementia with Lewy body affecting the mind mostly, and less extent for movement and behavior. It's usually an age-related. It occurs in the later age. Huntington's disease is usually occurred and middle age. And the huge difference is that for Huntington's disease, if someone has Huntington's disease, that any child has a 50% of chance to have the disease. But for dementia with Lewy body, that's not the case. It's not considered a hereditary disease.
So basically for Lewy body, and please explain to me when I say something stupid, because it's entirely possible. But just to make sure I've got this straight, with Lewy body, you could inherit the chance to maybe develop it down the road if other conditions are met, whereas with Huntington's, you just inherit the whole package, the whole thing.
That's
right?
correct, yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of the difference to answer your question there. Just a little bit. Let me ask you a question, because I know that with the support group, you have met more people than you probably ever expected that are affected by this. You didn't know, because as we were talking about, you were alone. You were an island out in the middle of the ocean when this started.
We knew absolutely no one like us.
Doctor, do you think there are people out there right now that are being affected by this, and they either got a misdiagnosis just through a lack of knowledge of this disease, or just have no idea what's going on? Do you think that exists right now?
That's probably, it's widely existing. It's a lot of our, family, and they may have someone in the family has the disease, never been diagnosed, because the symptoms can be mistaken as, for example, someone is being fidgety. I mean, just maybe this person is just fidgety, and then they may have some mood issue. They think it's depression, anxiety. Or sometimes, and there's huge mistakes. A lot of time they think, is this person on drug or alcohol, causing the symptoms. I think there are a lot of time, there's also the dilemma that, because it's hereditary, a lot of people think, it's almost like a devil, and then so they don't want to talk about the disease. Even they got the diagnosis, they think, that the assumption is there's nothing you can do because it's hereditary. But I would like to expand that. It's hereditary, yes, but there's certainly a lot we can do to help patients and family to manage the disease to the degree, and it's much more manageable now than 10, 20 years ago. There's ways and medication to treat the symptoms. There's always, social service. We can help the family just to go through the disease and looking for what's going to happen 5 years later, 10 years later. Get things ready, and then there's always the supporting system from our support group and also HDSA to help us navigate around, and then to have some meaningful quality of life with them when we deal with the disease. It is a bad disease, but it's not like that's the end of our life. I think we need to find a way to live with the disease, be strong.
I want to piggyback on that. When we got Nathan's diagnosis, we felt like our world was over. We had the attitude for a long time of that he was going to drop dead the next day. And then the more we met with Dr. Huang, met with Dr. Sung, and their positivity, we realized Nathan's life wasn't over. He still had a lot of life to live. And granted, where we are now, Nathan, I think, would be considered stage 4. Stage 4 Huntington's, and he can't walk. I mean, he can walk a few steps, but he has to have help. His speech is we're losing that. But with the help of Dr. Huang and Nathan's part of the waiver program here, Ability Works, we got a chair. I mean, it's a chair that he can control with head tapping. We've got a speech device. So his quality of life has increased by having these tools that we wouldn't have known about had we not been part of this community. I hear the music.
It's almost like she's been on the radio before. Before we go, though, just very quickly, just for context, you said Nathan's stage 4. How many stages are there?
5.
There's 5, and 5 days the last stage.
Okay. We're going to continue this in just a moment because we barely talked about the reason they're here. That's how it works when you walk in the room with me every time. We will continue with Heather and Dr. Huang as we continue talking about the Huntington's disease Team Hope Walk coming up. Pretty quick here. What is it? Next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Yeah, it's right here. We'll talk more about that when we return on SuperTalk Mississippi, live in the Element Wealth Studios on. Sing it, Heather.
I'm not going to try.
What are you even here for if you're not going to sing along with the Proclaimers? Come on.
Oh, let's get to the chorus. I might get it there.
Well, here
That's
it comes.
good, Rhino.
Here it comes. Get ready. Here you go.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, yeah. Tease. That's all you want. And Rhino sliding that in because we are ostensibly here to talk about the Team Hope Walk coming up next Saturday, the 18th, right?
Yes, the 18th at the Flowood Nature Park. Registration at 8. Walk starts at 9. And would just love to have everybody come out. It's in the past. We've had a good turnout, but we could always use a bigger turnout. And the awareness. May is Huntington's Disease Awareness Month. And if you're on my Facebook page, I'm sorry, but you were warned on April 30th. But
I saw that post. She's not joking. She actually warned everyone, brace yourself, get ready. But this is an important thing, and it is a fundraiser.
It is a fundraiser for the Huntington's Disease Society of America. These funds that we raise go towards things like our centers of excellence. They help fund those centers of excellence. They go into education days. They go into things like, for example, the catalyst, and you've heard me talk about this before, the catalyst for me wanting to do these walks was when Nathan first got diagnosed. He didn't need it then, but if you had diagnosed Huntington's, HDSA and a drug company called Teva were going in together and giving away these, they're called liftware level spoons.
That's the coolest thing.
I know. You've actually seen it.
Yes.
These spoons are for people who cannot hold a regular spoon. It's got a strap that will wrap around your hand, and no matter what way you turn that spoon, it's got a device in the middle of it that will not allow that spoon to flip. And it's just the most amazing thing. And these things are not cheap. I mean, they were, at the time, they were $350. And we got that for free. And that just gave us the catalyst to want to give back. And then right after we got that, we ended up at UAB Education Day. And there were these kids that were doing the walk. I mean, they were college students. And, as they were talking, Nathan and I ended up that 3.5, 4 hour drive back, bouncing ideas off of each other. And that was in 2016. We didn't get brave enough to do it until 2 years ago. Well, 3 years ago. This is our 3rd annual. And, we didn't know how to put a walk on. We still really don't.
You never do. Trust me. It never gets better. But
we're thankful for the people that have donated who, in the past and currently. Our goal is 15,000. We blew it out of the water that first year. Our goal was 6,000, and I told the two ladies with HDSA, who I called them my handlers, and I was scared to death. We were not going to raise $6,000. We got to 13,000 that first year.
Nice.
Last year, our goal was 14, and we were shy by about $1,500. This year, our goal is 15,000. We're at 8 right now, but we really would love to get closer, if not surpassing that $15,000. And that's where the audience comes in. We could really use your help. Donations for the walk. You can go to hdsa.org/THWMS, Team Hope Walk, Mississippi. And you can donate there. You can join a team. My personal favorite is Wilmoth Warriors, because Team Turner is kicking our can down the road. I mean, they have really blown it out of the water. But
this
you can
rivalry,
join.
Doc, I don't know what to do about this.
It's really a friendly rivalry, because I adore Cheryl Turner, and she has been so helpful to me the past couple of years with the walk. I mean, between Dr. Huang's team and Cheryl, this walk wouldn't be anywhere near what it is without them. So it's a friendly rivalry. But you can join a team, you can create a team, or you could just donate to a team. If you don't feel comfortable donating online, come to the walk. We'll accept it there. Or you can message me or whatever, and I can direct you how to do it in person or sending a check in. We had someone last week that had contacted me. She's done it the past couple of years. So I need to give Miss Ray Shannon a shout out. I hope she doesn't mind, but she's contacted me every time after Paul's show. Hey, I want to send I want to send a donation. Where do I send it? And we're in need of. We need a photographer to take pictures of the walk, because HDSA will share that stuff. And my photography skills are not the greatest. Plus, I'm going to be running around from here, there, and yon.
Referring to Heather's photography skills, if you've seen some of her work, you're very familiar with what her thumb looks like close up. You get a really good view.
I'm not quite that bad. But,
you're close, darling. You're close. But it's okay, because there's heart in it. There's feeling.
I love you too, Dave.
Yes. I'm trying to bail my way out of that hole.
Right. But I really would love to have some really good quality pictures for HDSA to be able to share out on social media and such. We need raffle items. We don't have anything yet. And we could really use raffle items for day of. So if you want to donate, if you want to volunteer, just contact me. If I don't answer my phone, leave me a voicemail. I will get back to you.
She's napping.
Right, because I have so much time for that.
Yeah.
601-754-6323 or hthurgood@yahoo.com or hthurgood at telesouth.com, supertalk.fm. Contact the studio. They will be able to get in touch with me. They have me on semi-speed dial because I screw up a lot.
Get a hold of me. Trust me, I can get a hold of her real quick. But it is important, and let's just go into fundraiser mode for just a second here. You mentioned that, and I want to make sure that we underline it. They're looking for raffle items. If you have something that you can give, and I don't care what it is, I don't care if you think it's not big enough, I don't care if you think it's something nobody would be interested in. To be perfectly honest, nobody asked you. We need items, we need things to support this. It's not just writing a check or whipping the card out. There are so many things that you can do to support this and make this a success, but you have to do it. And what's in it for you? You get that good feeling of having done something good for a good cause. I don't think any of us can get enough of that, especially right now as the world burns to the ground around us. We need all the good feelings and the ability to do the good things and participate in them that we can find. So make an effort. If you can't show up, if you hate, walking, if you're allergic to sweat, that's fine.
Hey, we don't make you walk.
Oh, even better.
We don't make you walk.
So
if you want to just come and hang out, you just come and hang out. You can hang out in the pavilion while everyone else walks.
So basically it's an excuse to get together and snack. Okay.
Kind of. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and raise money to boot, and raise awareness. That's another big thing is we do these things to raise awareness for a disease that no one would ever talk about before. I mean, and that's part of the reason why Nathan and I have always been so vocal, is because it's a disease that no one would ever talk about. It was like it was an embarrassment, and no one would ever discuss Huntington's. So I'm lucky enough I have a voice that's big, and I work for a company that's got an even bigger voice that's willing to let me share my voice. So that's why we do these things, because I firmly believe that with awareness comes funding, with funding comes research, with research comes hope for a treatment or a cure. I want that cure and that treatment for my husband, but I also want it for my kids and for the other families who are going through the things that Nathan and I are going through.
Exactly, and you can help with that. All you have to do is reach out to Heather through one of her 72 contact points, and she will help you out, or get a hold of us, and we'll pass you right along to her. Dr. Huang, you're doing fantastic work. You really are. You're doing a
Thank you so much.
Doing a good job at a good thing for good people, and that's all we can ask out of life.
Thank you so much. I think it's, again, I echo on Heather's point. I think, this is a disease. It's not something, everyone is talking about, but, we have a lot of family and, friends got affected by the disease. And I think the work, and in one way is to raise money for research education. But the other way is that, we have to and stick together in our community to talk about the disease, to let more people know that, so they can, know who is the one they should get in touch, to seek care, to ask for help. And I think it's much more. I think, we've been doing this for a couple of years. I think, thank you, Heather. And we have Huntington's community in Mississippi. We're going to, keep working on that.